Our friends Bill and Tammy from Baltimore have come out. You can see them over there rowing back with Herby. And we're gonna get some lunch in Annapolis. Now Tammy's the one who cuts my hair and Herby's hair. And after Herby cut my hair the other day, I abruptly sent her a picture and she instructed me to come in as soon as possible. So she actually fixed me up and it was really sweet of her to do it on the spot like that.
Yes. Oh, you did a good job on that. You make that? Yeah.
Over cheesy.
Yeah, it's a really good dinghy.
Yeah, that's nice to have. I know.
All right, we're gonna take a second to talk about anchorages and how to spot the good ones.
Yeah, so the ideal anchorage would be one where you are completely encircled by land. But you can't get into those because they're completely encircled by land. So you have to go for a compromise.
And finding a good anchorage, especially if you're sailing in the Chesapeake Bay, is incredibly important because during the night, it's going to really affect how well you sleep, especially if you're like me and you get a little seasick.
Yeah, and if you don't sleep well, then the next day you're dragging and it's not good.
When we are looking for anchorages, we like to really plan ahead because it could be that we're sailing and we're tired and we're ready to anchor, but there are no good anchorages anywhere near us. So
Yeah.
it's really important that you really kind of plan where you're going to stop that night and where you're going to stop if you don't get that far and so on if you're not sailing through the night, because it really will make or break your cruising experience if you have a bad anchorage.
Yeah, so what you want to find is something that's going to offer protection from the wind. And we have the adventurous corgi searching through the legs.
Offer enough protection from
Yeah.
the wind so that the waters are calm.
Yeah. So the things that you really need to have are land between you and the wind. So if the wind's blowing from the south, you want to just find a place that at least has south side mountains. And then you want to be close enough to that land that the wind doesn't pick up again as it's getting to you. So that's kind of what we really look for. So we look at the forecast for where the wind's going to be coming from that night, and then find a spot that has some form of shielding for that night, at least. Now,
It's really great if you can pull into some kind of creek with land on three
Yeah.
sides.
and even better, if the creek comes in and then bends just past there, it's perfect.
We were anchored in a little creek the other night, and there was this crazy storm, all these winds and rains and everything, and our boat barely moved.
Yeah, we were fine.
Yeah, and the last time we went out, we made the mistake of not anchoring in any safe anchorages for a lot of the nights, and I got so sick, and it really affected our time because we were literally bouncing on our beds some nights,
So-
like getting air.
Yeah, what happens is I don't get seasick. So for 3 years, I'd go out, or 2 years, I'd go out sailing, and I'd just anchor in the middle of the bay. Like the sun went down, I'd just drop anchor. I'd go to sleep. I'd get up in the morning, keep going. And I slept fine, so I never realized that I was choosing horrible anchorages. And then when I met her, we went on a long trip, and we did that, and like she'd throw up, and she wouldn't sleep, and it was horrible. And then a couple of those nights, we'd be in a nice anchorage, and she felt great the next day.
Yeah.
So now we know, find an anchorage and sail to it.
Yeah. So right now we're in a really protected area. It doesn't look as protected as it is, but it's actually really great. We're outside of a marina because we're stingy and we don't want to pay slip fees.
Yeah. But it is a marina that we're keeping our other boat in.
Right. So
we-
it's okay for us to use the facilities and
Technically,
stuff.
we're land slip holders, so we're not bums just coming in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still not paying to keep this boat in there.
No. And that's how it's going to be for most of our trip because we did our little video about budgeting. That's one of the ways that we're doing it. So it's even more important for us to get anchorages
Yeah.
because we're anchoring all the time.
Yeah, so where we are right now, we're actually right up near a bunch of trees. So they give us great protection from the wind, which generally blows from that direction.
Yeah.
And then to the other way, there's a little bit of water and then more trees. So the whole issue with a long distance of water is any little bit of wind can start building up waves. So the longer the distance of water is, the bigger the waves you're going to see. So where we are, there isn't really much distance of water, so there's no waves.
One of the great things about cruising that we really love is the people that you meet along the way. So we're here on this catamaran, not far from our own boat, and they're just these people that we met in the marina right over there, and we are about to enjoy this fabulous dinner with salad and chicken. So we're really excited that we get to spend this evening with people that we've already met while cruising. And they actually just came back from St. Thomas, so we're excited to pick their brain.
Hi, Dennis and Stephanie Tanji. We're on group therapy right now. We've been cruising for the last 9 months through the Caribbean, and basically started a charter business out of St. Thomas. And we just got an opportunity to run 44 Helia out of St. Thomas for Charter House YC Yacht Club. Check us out, R-Escape. So come book us. We need to do 9 more weeks for next year, and
yeah, and they've made this amazing dinner for us. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Really beautiful dinner. Yeah.
I hope you enjoy, and I will be chefing on that boat, and it's R-S-CAPE.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Great.
Yeah.
It's morning here on Wisdom, and today's project is going to be to switch out the dinghies. So I'm going to get Tooth 2 off the deck, and we'll bring out our new dinghy and try and start mounting him. With that, Tooth 2 is floating again. But sadly, this voyage is going to be straight to shore to go into the truck, where Tooth 2 will sit and wait until we get back. Tooth is doing much better since I put all that sealant up near the bow. You can see the water that's flown in is much less than last time. Last time it was pretty much up to the chine in a few minutes. Where here it's just above the keelson. So it's not as bad. While Tooth 2 may never get to be pulled up onto a sandy beach in the Caribbean, at least he gets to be pulled up on a sandy beach here. Tooth 2 is now all tied in. So I'm gonna run him out to the house, and then we'll come back with Tooth 3. And after we get back, then we'll go back out to Wisdom and figure out how we're gonna mount Tooth 3 on the deck. We got Tooth 2 loaded in the back of the truck. So now I'm gonna head out to my parents' house to pick up Tooth 3. We should just call them 1, 2, and 3. So we're gonna bring out number 3 and get him loaded on the deck. I figure out exactly how we want him, and then we're gonna go back out to pick up the stuff for the mounts. So we're thinking of doing galvanized pipe. I know it'll rust, but it'll be another thing that I maintain, and that'll be that. So hopefully we can make an easy fix to get tooth 3 mounted on the deck, and then when we get number 3 loaded and everything's perfect, then I'll take 1 back out to my parents' house where the both of them will stay until we come back from our trip. Meanwhile, tooth 3 is in the back of the truck, ready to go out to the boat.
I was sitting in the cockpit a couple of minutes ago, reading my book, and I looked up, and our stern was inches from hitting this other boat over there's bow. So I jumped up and I ran over to it and fended off, and realized that obviously our anchor had been dragging a lot, many feet, and Herby wasn't here. So he was driving with his dad to pick up the tooth 3. So I called Herby and his phone had gone on silent, and I called his dad and he picked up and was in a separate car from Herby, and luckily I was like freaking out, like fending off this boat, and he said, "Oh, did you turn on the motor?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, no." So I ran down, I like fended off, ran down, turned on the motor, battery, and like slammed us hard into gear, and I just took us away, and just kind of, luckily Herby was there within a minute. It was really good timing, and he his dad got a hold of him and he jumped into the dinghy and started like furiously rowing out, and I'm just like trying to keep the boat from flying into things, and oh my gosh, it was What ended up happening is Herby misremembered his markings, color-coded markings, and had only let out 60 feet of chain in 15 feet of water, and the wind picked up like crazy. The current's insane right now, and that anchor just came right up. So now everything is okay, and Herby let out a crap ton of chain, and that will not be happening again. I didn't handle it as well as I wish I had, just because I should have thought right away to turn on the motor, but I guess I wouldn't have been able to have fended off of that other boat if I had run downstairs to turn on the motor bank. Anyway, what happened, and it's taken care of, and everything is fine. And we have a party later. Just so happens that the marina's throwing a little party, so that'll be fun, and we've got some things to look forward to. So we're gonna catch our breath, take a little breather, and regroup. Tooth 3 has arrived! Yay!
Yeah.
Bless you. The chimney from our diesel heater was in the way, so Herby had to take out the whole chimney in order to fit the dinghy onto the deck. Later on, we'll build something so that the dinghy can actually be fit over top of the chimney, and we won't have to remove it.
Some rain cover from the forward hatch, so we could have the hatch open ajar during the rain to get some air without getting a lot of water.
Yeah.
This is our chimney. No longer in our deck, so it needs to sit higher than this guy. So pretty much you gotta set this on the back of the boom back of the boat, make sure we have this plus whatever distance for the boom.
The winds are still super heavy right now.
Yep. You almost don't need the row to get the shore.
Yeah. Hey, look at this.
Should have had them over here.
Next time on Sailing Wisdom, we're going to make the deck mounts for the dinghy, and we're going to talk about the importance of navigational backups.
Thanks so much for watching. And if you want to become a sailing buddy, you can click the link down below to our Patreon account.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And when you click subscribe, make sure you click on the little bell in the annotation. That way you get notifications as soon as our next video is uploaded.
Thanks so much.